Uncle T Boxing. This is Tunji, and I'm here with Dillian Whyte. We've just finished watching Isaac Chamberlain just do his thing against. I just forgotten that guy's name. Pardon me.
It's irrelevant. The guy got stopped in the first round. To be honest, it was an entertaining clash. He was playing his part. He hit Isaac with some big shots. Looked like he might have stunned him momentarily. I'm not 100% sure because I kind of looked and he was kind of back. I looked like his eyes squinted a little bit. I wasn't sure, but I felt like it was going to start being an interesting contest. But look, he got him out of there. Quite a big statement, but I said earlier, sometimes it's a gauger, sometimes it's not. It depends how people travel. But he looked like he travelled well because he looked like he was competent. He was in the fight. He was hitting him with some good shots, the right hand and other shots, went to the body quite well. But Isaac, he found the home for the body shots and he got him out of there. He never recovered. I would have liked to see more of it, just to see what Isaac was going to bring to the table and see where he's, when he was in trouble, what he actually done and how he kind of dealt with adversity. We still haven't seen much of Isaac yet. He got the guy out of there. So, right now it's still an unknown quantity. Obviously, people will gauge and say, well, Akoli took 3 rounds or something, I took 1. Means nothing because he lost to Akoli, so it's irrelevant. You get what I'm trying to say? So I would have liked to see more from him.
Where do you think he's gonna go next? Because in one interview he said he wants to be a world champion by next year. No, he's gonna be a world champion by next year. How do you see it?
I'm not too sure. Look, there's good fights there for him, but look, he's with Hennessy. They might be backing him. All the money is with the Zone and Matchroom, and then he got Frank Warren, who's got the WBO in his pocket. So I'm not too sure. We got to look and see. You got Massey, who's got one of the belts, but Massey is a real handful. As we saw with Richard Riakpo, he gave him all the mustard he could be looking for. But let's see what happens, man. There's a potential. He's got the potential to do it. He's had injuries. His career's been a bit stagnated. He was ahead of all these boys, and they've come and all overtaken him. So look, he's got someone to back him and grow with him. Let's see what he does with it.
There's so many cruiserweights now coming out in the British scene. There's a few of them. There's, like you said, Riakpo, Massey. Matchroom signed that guy, Jordan Thompson, the 6'7". There's obviously Lawrence Okoli. Yeah. There's Mikel Lawal. How do you see Isaac with all those guys? Or do you think he's just going to look past all those guys, apart from Okoli, obviously?
I don't think he should look past anyone because on any given day, any of these guys can beat each other. You know what I mean? This is boxing. You know what I mean? Look, he went 3 rounds with Okoli. He went under 1 round with Isaac Chamberlain. Things happen in boxing. You know what I mean? So people can get people out of there. Let's see. But like I said, Massey is a handful. He's got one of the titles. There's many people who's doing things in the sport, and you know what I mean? I think that's an interesting fight. Jordan Thompson, that's a good fight again. There's loads of look, Mikel Lawal, another good fight. There's a lot of Nigerian boys in the cruiserweight division. Richard Riakpo. I mean, they tried to sanction that fight already for Isaac to fight him. I didn't fight him because they're pals, you know what I mean? But look, there's big fights out there waiting for these guys. Let's see what happens, my guy, man, you know what I mean?
I haven't even spoken to you since the news came out about your brother finally gets that mandatory spot against Tyson Fury. Your thoughts about that?
Well, look, it was. Well, I would say it's inevitable, but look, it was in his time. It was going to come. It's taken a long time. I think he got mandatory in the Elenius fight in 2017 sometime. And it's taken a long time to come around, the pendulum to swing back in his favour. Now it's been mandated. Let's see what happens. But we're not excited. We're not overjoyed because what you got to bear in mind is Tyson Fury is very unpredictable. He might wake up tomorrow, like I said in many interviews, and say that WBC doesn't define me and throw that in the bin. And I'm not interested in fighting Dillian Whyte. I don't need to fight him. I can fight who I want. I'm not going to be defined by a belt. Or he's got the backing with Top Rank and the WBC Sullivan. And then what they might do is make him franchise champion. And he might say, listen, I need a bit of rest. I need time out. Stay with my family. Elevate him and then Dillian fight someone else. We just want the belt. We want to fight anyone who's in the way. We would love Tyson Fury because it'd be a big fight in the UK. But if not, we're just fine with him.
Anyone who's got the belt. Dillian keeps saying something about the purse split. They haven't made it clear what the purse split is, so it's going to be hard for them to move forward with negotiations without.
But what it is they're trying to not give Dillian what he deserves in the purse split. But what it is the WBA interim world champion is a 45-55 split. That's just what it is. But they're trying to downplay it because of whatever reason and find a loophole to wriggle out and say they don't want to fight. They want to give him a lower split or a fee, as it were. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? That's why we've got this arbitration, so all the dots and T's are crossed. So let's see what happens, and we'll go from there. Dillian will get exactly what Dillian deserves once everything's said and done.
Where have you been lately?
I was in New York, Lopez Cambosis. I was in Vegas for a week. I was at Devin Haney and Jojo Diaz. And then on the Sunday, I went to LA with Gervonta Davis against the Pitbull. Amazing fight, amazing atmosphere, good night of boxing. That was the best of the lot.
I was about to ask you who you thought was the best.
No,
the best performance.
The atmosphere was man's vibe. It was like vibesy music, like girls, brothers, shining, drip, big boy whips. It was Mayweather-esque. You know what I mean? It was vibesy, and you know because he's got Mayweather, they know how to pull it off. They know what they're looking for. They know you know what I mean?
Who had more of a better crowd, the Teofimo Lopez or the Devin Haney?
No, Gervonta Davis sold.
Forget about Gervonta Davis. He's on his own world. I'm comparing Teo against Devin Haney.
I think Devin Haney was a bigger crowd. But you know what it is? Because they were fighting Mexicans. Mexicans actually come out, shout at the Mexicans in America and across the globe. They come out and support their own. Listen, there was bare them at the supporting the guy, what's his name, Pitbull. And there was bare them supporting Jojo Diaz. Listen, it was amazing, the atmosphere, you get me? So it's all good.
Why were you there? You just not to enjoy your life. What's going on?
No, I'm working, bro. I'm working. Look, I'm working, putting myself into position. I got a fight at Tamira Brown. I advise and work with someone in America. And we just got offered a world title shot for her next year. So the meetings and stuff, what I went out there to do, worked. You know what I mean? So when you network and, you know, do your hard work, eventually things pay off. So we got that opportunity today. She fought like 2 weeks ago. We done her medicals today for her opponent, but the opponent failed. So she was meant to fight next week on the Golden Boys show. But that's been pulled. But now next year we're looking for one of them world titles. And it's looking like we just got the opportunity. So listen, all things is good when you work hard and you graft. You get what you deserve and you get what you put in the game.
You went with Craig Richards as well, didn't you?
Okay, Craig, man, yeah.
Was he sparring there? I saw an interview sparring middleweights and heavyweights and all that.
And he sparred another light heavyweights. Got some good sparring at the wild card. Salas the gym in Vegas. And then I was doing interviews and I was bringing him in and doing his own thing and trying to raise the profile across the pond, you know what I mean? And I was trying to draw out some people to see if there's any synergy with a fight with Jacobs, Durrell brothers or anyone, you know what I mean? So, yeah, shout out, man. I'll chat to you. But yeah, no, it's all good. So we're just working, you know the vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Did you see any other sparring? I believe that you saw Devin Haney spar before he fight. What did you see? What can you tell us?
Haney is a monster. He's a young man. He's got a great future in the sport of boxing. He's still got to learn not to take as much punishment. He was taking a lot of big shots. But saying that, Gervonta Davis was taking lots of big shots as well. You know what I mean? But let's see what happens in time. But they both got a lot of skill. I'd say Devin uses his jab a lot more. But they both got good chins, decent chins. They take a decent punch. You know what I mean?
What I took from the fight is that Devin might be slightly outgrowing that weight now because he's quite fast at the beginning. Then towards the end, that's when he gets touchable. Maybe 140, he might even bring that power. Because Terence Crawford wasn't stopping people at 135. He only started stopping people at 140, 147. What do you think?
It's possible what you're saying, but I think all the big boys, all the best fights are at 135 for him right now. The thing is, you're right, he starts sharp and explosive. He needs to find the balance of how explosive he wants to be and not waste so much money early on. Not money, I mean energy, sorry, money. I'm thinking of money's on my brain. You get it, guys, money. But anyway, I mean the energy he expels early and then he fades. It's like he's got oxide nitrous early and then it goes down to normal level and that's when they can catch him. But I know what you mean. In the first 2 rounds, he was blistering and it just went downhill. And then I think what he needs to do is slow it down a bit, use the jab, move, and just slow it down and slowly build in. Because, like you said, Diaz was on his arse in that fight. He made it an interesting fight. But you've seen the jab what won him and the skill what won him in the fight. I felt it was okay. I think the scorecards are a little bit wide, but, you know, both of the fights are very competitive.
Can you rank for me the 3 guys you saw? Cambosis, Devin Haney, and Tank Davis. Can you rank it 1 to 3?
I'm not gonna lie, not right now. I need to do a little bit more homework on those guys. I liked what I saw, but at the same time, they all get hit quite a lot. Lopez got hit, he went down, lost his belts. Didn't respect Cambosis, didn't give him the credit he deserved. Probably didn't train right. His dad in the corner weren't giving him the right instruction. dancing, singing. Instead of saying, son, you could be losing, get your ass in gear, let's go. So he ended up losing. Other than that, the other two, it's still a hard one to gauge, because they had real wild live dogs in front of them. So it's a bit different, you know what I mean? But all of them, they got the world at their oyster. One's different. One's Mayweather-esque. One's boxing, he's got the backing of the biggest promoter in the world, DAZN and Eddie Hearn, so it's different. So let's see how it goes. Can they do a network share? I'm not sure Mayweather's, if they'd want to do that, because they've got their star on their side of the pond. They might be saying, look, we getting that money. We're not pretending like we're getting money, we getting money. I know Devin's getting big money from DAZN as well, but let's see what happens.
What's going on with you, with your promotions? I mean, after a successful one you did, when is the next one?
Yeah, I got my next show next year. February the 12th, we're out. We're back again.
Where's it going to be?
It's going to be Towarth, same venue, my friend.
Okay. Well, any guys we should be looking out for your show?
Probably the similar guys, Alfie Clegg, Luke Pearson, Simmons, maybe Ivy Porter in my cruiser heavyweight might be out. Tony Band, just a local guys. There's quite a few people on there already. I've just left that to the matchmakers. I was doing too much hands-on stuff before. I'm going to take a bit of a back seat this time. I got burnt out, man. I got burned out.
Dean Whyte, I've taken enough of your time, but I've got a request to ask you. Next year, I think we should kind of do as a sort of a podcast, on a weekly basis. What do you say to that?
Well, you can sit and talk as long as it don't take up too much of my time. I've got a lot of time being taken up in this boxing, but I'm 100% chat to you, because you're my guy anyway, Uncle T. Come on, you already know that. Let's sit down and chat. Yeah?
Okay. Well, enjoy the rest of the show, and